Welcome to Pillow Talk Dreams, where every night becomes a story and every story leads you to peace. If you love calm voices, gentle journeys, and stories that help you drift into dreams, then don't forget to subscribe and let your nights be a little softer. Now close your eyes and let the story begin. The lonely glow far beyond the silver clouds, where the air is thinner than thought itself. A single star shivered awake. She was smaller than most, barely a spark against the velvet sea of night. The others shimmered boldly, winking to the moon and echoing their light across the heavens. But the little star stayed quiet, trembling softly in her corner of the sky. She often wondered if anyone below ever saw her. From her perch she could glimpse the curve of the world, oceans like spilled ink, forests sleeping beneath fog, villages with lamps like tiny cousins of her own light. Every night she watched them grow dim, one by one, until only a few windows flickered. Then the earth would sigh and drift into dreams. The little star would whisper, "Good night, everyone." But no one answered. The weight of silent stars don't have hearts as humans do, yet something deep inside her ached. She saw the grand constellations laughing together, the lion stretching proudly, the twins dancing in perfect rhythm, the hunter boasting of his brightness. Even the falling stars, those rebellious sparks that shot across the darkness, carried laughter in their fiery tails. She envied them. "Perhaps my light is too faint," she murmured to the empty sky. "Perhaps no one needs me." The night wind brushed past, carrying only silence. Down below, the world was folding itself into peace. Waves slowed their beating against the shore, mountains hid their faces in mist, and children were turning over in their sleep, chasing soft, secret dreams. But no dream ever seemed meant for her. A whisper from the moon one night when the sky was clear as glass. The moon rose early, large, round, and glowing like a guardian lamp. The little star watched as the silver light spread across space, painting every cloud with gentle milk. When the moon finally turned her gaze, her eyes found the trembling spark alone near the horizon. "Little one," said the moon in a voice made of velvet, "why do you hide your glow?" The little star startled. No one had spoken to her before. "I am not hiding," she said shyly. "I just don't think my light matters." The moon smiled. "Every light matters. Even a spark can show the way home." "But the others are brighter," whispered the little star. "They draw shapes in the sky. They make wishes come true." The moon drifted closer, her pale light folding around the star like a shawl. "Brightness isn't everything. Sometimes the smallest light reaches the deepest shadow." The words warmed the little star's core, but she still looked down at the dark stretch of ocean below. "Then why do I still feel unseen?" The moon tilted her face thoughtfully. "Because you've never gone beyond your corner. The sky is wide and your heart is curious. Would you like to see what lies beyond the clouds?" The little star hesitated. "Can stars travel?" "With a wish," said the moon, "anything can." The first wish, so the little star closed her shining eyes and wished, not to be bright, not to be famous among constellations, but simply to belong. A breeze older than time stirred across the heavens. The moon lowered her silver hands and blew softly toward the little star. At once, the sky around her rippled like water. Her glow stretched into a trail of gold, her edges loosened, and she began to drift. "Follow the rhythm of dreams," the moon whispered. "They will guide you." Before she could answer, the wind lifted her away. Down she floated, past sleeping comets, past thin ribbons of cloud, through the cool breath of the atmosphere, until she hovered above the quiet world she had always watched from afar. Beneath the clouds, the little star's light touched the treetops first. Each leaf shimmered briefly, then settled into stillness. She drifted lower, curious and cautious. In a meadow wrapped in moonlight, a fox curled around her cubs. The little star watched the rise and fall of their tiny bodies, their fur glowing under her pale light. The sight made something bloom within her, tender and new. "So they do sleep beneath me," she whispered. "They dream while I shine." She wandered farther. Over a lake smooth as glass, she saw her reflection ripple like melted gold. Fish swam lazily beneath the surface, and somewhere a frog croaked once, half asleep. For the first time, the little star felt less alone. The house by the hill near the edge of the forest stood a small cottage with smoke curling from its chimney. Through a window glowed a single candle. The little star floated close, peeking in. Inside, a child sat by the window, head resting on folded arms, eyes drooping with sleep. A worn-out book lay open beside him, its pages filled with drawings of stars. The sight stole the little star's breath. The boy murmured, "I wish I could touch one, just one star." Then he yawned and fell asleep against the glass. Outside, the little star trembled with emotion. "He sees us," she thought. "He sees me." She drifted closer until her glow brushed against the window pane. The candle flickered, her reflection mingled with the boy's dreaming face. And for one soft heartbeat, she felt truly seen. The dream cloud as she lingered above the cottage. A gentle fog rolled in, glimmering faintly. From it emerged a figure made of mist and moonlight, the dream cloud. "Little star," said the cloud, voice slow as yawns. "You are far from your place. What brings you here?" "I wanted to know if my light matters," she answered. The cloud smiled, eyes half closed. "Every dream begins with a flicker of light. You are part of the lullaby that hums the world to sleep." "Then why do I still feel small?" she asked. The cloud drifted closer, wrapping her in cool vapor. "Size means nothing to a dream. It is the softness that counts." And as the cloud moved on, its mist carried thousands of sleeping dreams toward the horizon, each one catching a spark of her light. She watched them scatter like fireflies and felt warmth bloom in her core again. Dawn's approach, but as she floated among the clouds, a pale blush began to touch the edge of the world. The first whisper of dawn. "Oh no," she sighed, "I'll vanish." The moon's voice echoed faintly from above. "The day must rise, little one. Even stars must rest." Reluctantly, she let the sunlight gather her fading glow. She rose slowly, carried by an invisible current back toward the heavens. When she reached her corner again, she looked once more at the sleeping earth below. The child's candle had burned out. The world shimmered with dew. The little star whispered, "Good night, my world, until tonight." And as the sun claimed the sky, she closed her shining eyes, dreaming of the next journey the moon had promised. The journey of dream winds when night returned. The world yawned itself back into stillness. The mountains stood like sleeping giants. The oceans hushed their restless voices. And one by one, the windows of the earth dimmed again into quiet sighs of rest. High above, the little star awakened from her daytime slumber. She stretched her light gently, blinking as the dark sky unfurled like soft velvet once more. She looked for the moon, but the great guardian was still hidden below the horizon. For the first time, the little star was alone with her thoughts, and with her growing curiosity. She remembered the dream cloud and the sleeping child, the candle, and the whisper of warmth she had felt the night before. That feeling still lingered, glowing inside her like a soft ember. "I want to see more," she said to herself. "If dreams are carried by light, maybe I can follow them." As she spoke, a faint breeze began to stir among the stars. The arrival of the wind at first, it was only a whisper. Then, from the deep folds of the night, a current of silver mist appeared, twisting and gliding like a ribbon of breath. The whispering wind had arrived. It circled the little star playfully, scattering her glow into tiny sparks that drifted across space. "Who calls my name upon this quiet night?" asked the wind, voice dancing like laughter through leaves. The little star hesitated. "I didn't mean to call you, I just wondered how dreams travel." The wind's shape rippled in amusement. "Ah, dreams are my favorite passengers. They ride upon my breath and drift into the minds of those who wait for peace." The little star brightened. "Then can you show me where they go?" "Only if you're brave enough to let go," the wind said gently. The star's glow trembled. "Let go of what?" "Of your fear of being unseen." For a heartbeat, the sky held its breath. Then the little star nodded. "I'll try." Riding the dream winds with a soft exhale, the whispering wind swirled around her and lifted her from her place in the heavens. The stars blurred behind her, constellations turning into glowing rivers, galaxies folding into streaks of light. She was no longer a fixed spark in the sky, but a drifting melody, moving with the rhythm of the universe. They sailed above sleeping continents, over snowy peaks, glowing deserts, and vast fields that shimmered with dew. Everywhere they passed, the wind murmured softly, "Listen." The little star did. In one corner of the world, she heard a mother humming beside her child's cradle, her voice rising and falling like waves. In another, an old man sat by a fire, dreaming of the days he had danced under summer stars. Farther still, she heard the oceans breathing, the forests sighing, the hearts of dreamers opening like flowers in the night. Each sound, each dream was carried by the wind, and she, the little star, became their light. The village of silent bells, the wind brought her to a valley tucked between blue hills. There lay a village of silent bells, where even the church tower made no sound. "Why is it so quiet?" the little star asked. The wind whispered, "They have forgotten how to dream." Below, she saw people tossing in their sleep, faces frowning, hearts heavy with thoughts that refused to rest. Their windows were open, but no dreams came. "Can't we help them?" the little star asked. "You can," said the wind. "Shine softly upon them. They have closed their eyes to hope. Remind them that light still exists." The little star floated lower until her glow brushed the rooftops. She began to hum, not a song of words, but a rhythm of light. Each pulse of her glow carried warmth, like the memory of kindness long forgotten. Slowly, one by one, the people's frowns softened. A child smiled in her sleep. An old woman sighed and turned, whispering a name from her youth. Even the bells trembled faintly, releasing a single silver note that drifted upward. The wind laughed softly. "You see, even silence can sing when touched by light." The little star felt joy rise within her, gentle and deep. Maybe she didn't need to be the brightest star. Maybe she just needed to be there. The memory of light. As they drifted onward, the little star asked, "Wind, do dreams ever disappear?" The wind's voice turned thoughtful. "Dreams never die, little one. They only wait, sometimes hidden, sometimes forgotten, until someone shines a little light on them again." The words settled in her like poetry. She began to understand. Her glow was not meant to dazzle, but to awaken. The sleeper in the desert, the wind carried her across an endless desert next. Dunes rolled like golden waves frozen in time. At the heart of that desert lay a lone traveler sleeping beside a campfire, reduced to embers. The man's brow was furrowed, his dreams tangled with exhaustion and sorrow. The little star hovered above him and saw within his dream a vision. He wandered lost through a storm, calling out for something unseen. "What is he searching for?" she asked. "Peace," the wind replied softly. "He has forgotten the sound of stillness." So she lowered her light until it touched the sand around him. Slowly, his dream began to change. The storm faded, replaced by calm. In his mind, he saw stars, countless, bright, and endless. He looked up in wonder. And there she was, small but steady, her glow reflecting in his eyes. He smiled in his sleep. The lesson of the wind. As dawn approached again, the wind began to slow. "You must return soon," it said. "The moon will worry if you wander too far." The little star's light dimmed slightly. "I don't want to stop. There are still so many who need light." The wind twirled gently around her. "You've learned what you needed tonight. That peace does not come from being seen, but from seeing others. Every dream you touched will carry a piece of your glow." The little star thought of the village, the traveler, and the tiny child by the candle. She smiled softly. "Then I will rest so I can shine again tomorrow." The wind sighed contentedly. "That is the way of the sky." With a final swirl, it lifted her upward once more, carrying her back through layers of soft clouds until she found her place among the stars. Returned to stillness. When she settled back into her quiet corner, she saw the faint glimmer of morning brushing the horizon. The moon was sinking low, weary but smiling. "You traveled far," the moon said. "I followed the dream winds," the little star replied. "I saw hearts that had forgotten light, and I helped them dream again." The moon nodded proudly. "Then you are no longer just a star, you are a keeper of calm." The little star's heart glowed brighter than ever before. As she closed her eyes, she whispered the words that had now become her nightly prayer. "May every dream find peace beneath my light." And as the first rays of dawn painted the heavens in gold, the little star drifted into her own gentle rest, her glow lingering across the sleeping world like a final lullaby. The sky between worlds. The night grew deeper, wrapping the heavens in velvet shadows. The little star floated quietly, her light soft and golden, no longer trembling but still searching. She had met the gentle cloud dancer, who taught her to trust the rhythm of the sky, and now her heart whispered that something new awaited beyond the horizon of dreams. She glided through a path of shimmering dust, a bridge of forgotten starlight. Every sparkle held a memory of dreams once dreamt, wishes once whispered. The stars that had faded long ago left trails behind them, soft as sighs. And in those trails the little star saw reflections of herself, tiny flickering lights that had once longed to be seen, just like her. She drifted further, humming to herself. Her song was the melody of quiet wonder, a tune that had no beginning or end. The sky seemed to listen. The comets slowed, the winds hushed, and even the silver moon tilted as though bending closer to hear. Then from the distance came a low voice. "Little one, your light carries far," it said, deep as the sea of night. She turned, and there before her stood something vast and beautiful. A creature made entirely of glowing mist, its wings stretched wide like constellations. It was the dream weaver, the guardian of sleeping hearts. The dream weaver's wisdom. The dream weaver's eyes shimmered with galaxies. "Every star," it said, "is born from the dream of someone who believes in light." It brushed its silver wings gently over the little star, and she felt her glow pulse brighter, not from effort but from peace. "I was afraid I wasn't bright enough," the little star whispered. "I wanted to light the sky like the great stars do, but I am only a small light in this endless dark." The dream weaver smiled, a curve of cosmic calm. "Do you know what makes a dream beautiful?" it asked. "It is not its size nor its shine, but the love it carries while it glows." The little star trembled softly. "Love?" "Yes," said the weaver. "Every child who falls asleep with hope, every heart that prays for calm, every lost soul that looks to the sky for comfort, they send a wish. And we stars answer, not with power but with gentleness. That is our way." The little star listened, her glow steady now. She had thought her light was small, but she began to understand. Even the smallest light could comfort someone lost in the dark. The river of dreams. The dream weaver guided her toward a wide, flowing current of light. It wasn't water, it was pure dream energy, glowing silver blue, winding through the heavens like a cosmic river. "This is the river of dreams," said the weaver. "Every night it carries the thoughts of those who sleep, their laughter, their fears, their hopes, and their love." The little star gazed in awe. Inside the river, she saw shimmering visions, a child clutching a teddy bear, drifting into slumber, a lonely man smiling at the stars after a long day, a mother whispering a lullaby by candlelight. Each dream rippled through the current, weaving itself into the sky's great blanket of peace. "Can I help?" asked the little star softly. The weaver nodded. "Yes, you can shine upon the river. Let your light touch it, your glow will guide the dream safely to morning." So she floated above the river and began to shine. Her light touched the surface, sending gentle ripples through the dreams. Each ripple carried warmth, comfort, and a whisper of calm. The dreamer's touch as she watched, a vision formed in the river. A little boy, lying awake beneath his blanket, was staring at the ceiling, afraid of the dark. He whispered, "I wish there was a light that stayed with me all night." And then the little star saw her own reflection appear in his window. Her light twinkled softly, right beside his sleepy eyes. The boy smiled, relaxed, and drifted into dreams. Tears of joy welled up in her golden glow. For the first time she felt the true purpose of her light, to bring peace, not brilliance. The dream weaver nodded. "You see, little one, the world doesn't need more brightness. It needs gentleness. It needs you." The gift of stillness. As the night moved on, the little star rested on the edge of the river of dreams, watching as wave after wave of light drifted toward dawn. The weaver wrapped her in its misty wings, and the stars above seemed to hum a lullaby, the kind sung by the universe itself. In that stillness, she felt her heart glowing with gratitude. She no longer wished to be the brightest star, only to be a kind one. And that, she realized, was enough. The heavens were quiet, too quiet. After her gentle work along the river of dreams, the little star rested in the calm glow of her light. Her reflection shimmered across the current, and for the first time in her life she felt whole. She had touched dreams, comforted a child, and learned that love was brighter than brilliance. But peace, like dawn, is often followed by the test of night. The whisper in the dark far beyond the horizon, a dark mist began to stir. It was not wind, nor cloud, it was shadow mist, the forgotten fear of sleepless souls. Every time someone on earth dreamed of being lost, or lonely, or unloved, a piece of that sadness rose into the sky. Over many nights it had grown heavy, and tonight it began to drift toward the stars. The dream weaver felt it first. Its silvery wings shivered as the mist crept closer. "The shadow mist is waking," it said softly. "It feeds on doubt, on stars that question their light." The little star's glow dimmed slightly. "But I'm not afraid anymore," she said. The weaver's eyes gleamed like quiet moons. "Even courage must be tended, little one. Shadows visit all hearts, even the brightest." The weaver spread its wings wide. "I must guard the sleepers below. Their dreams depend on the river flowing undisturbed. You must face what comes alone." The little star trembled. "Alone? Not without hope," said the weaver. "Remember, your light was born from love, not fear." And with that, the dream weaver vanished into the misty horizon, leaving the little star adrift in silence. The storm of doubt, the first wave of shadow mist, rolled across the sky. It moved like smoke but felt alive, whispering voices echoing softly through the dark. "You are too small. No one would miss your light. You shine, but no one sees." The words coiled around her, cold and heavy. The little star tried to shine, but her glow flickered like a candle in the wind. "What if they're right?" she whispered. "What if I'm just nothing?" The night answered with silence. Then, suddenly, the river below her began to dim. The dreams it carried grew faint, fading into gray. The laughter of children, the peace of sleepers, the warmth of love all began to weaken. "No," said the little star, her voice breaking. "I can't let the dreams fade." She tried to shine again, but the more she fought, the dimmer she became. The shadow mist grew thicker, feeding on her doubt, swirling around her like a storm. The memory of light when she could barely see herself anymore. A sound reached her ears, faint, distant, but familiar. It was a lullaby, the same melody the mother had hummed to her child on earth, the one she'd seen in the river of dreams. "Sleep, my dear, the stars are near, and one will watch you through the night." The little star closed her eyes. In her mind, she saw the boy again, the one who had whispered his wish. She remembered his sleepy smile when he saw her light. "I am his light," she whispered. "I am still here." Her glow trembled, then steadied, soft, golden, alive. The whispers grew quieter, unsure. "You can't shine forever," they hissed. "Maybe not," said the little star, "but I can shine tonight." And with that, she released her fear like breath into the dark. The return of radiance, her heart pulsed once, then again. The third beat spread warmth through her entire being. The glow grew, not blinding, not fierce, but strong. It spread outward in ripples of golden light, filling the sky, pushing back the shadow mist. Every flicker of doubt was met with calm. Every whisper of darkness was drowned in peace. The dreams below brightened again, the river shimmered, and the dream weaver reappeared, wings sparkling like morning dew. "You did it," the weaver said, smiling softly. "You faced the dark within you and found light that cannot be taken." The little star gazed at the sky. The shadows were gone, and for the first time her light reflected not only on clouds and dreams, but on the hearts of all who looked up that night. The lesson of the night, the dream weaver floated beside her. "Remember this, little one, light isn't the absence of darkness. It's the courage to shine within it." The little star nodded, feeling peace fill her completely. "I thought I had to be perfect," she said quietly. "But now I see I just had to be kind." The weaver's wings curved around her like a blessing. "That kindness," it said, "is what keeps the sky alive." Together they drifted in silence, watching the night grow softer, the world below breathing in rhythm with the stars above. The storm had passed, and dawn waited just beyond the horizon. A promise to the dawn. As the first light of morning began to stir at the edge of the sky, the little star whispered to the dream weaver, "When the sun rises, do I disappear?" The weaver smiled. "You rest, not vanish. And when the world dreams again, you'll return, just as the heart always returns to peace." The little star looked down at earth, at the rivers, the trees, the sleeping towns, and felt something new awaken inside her. Belonging. She had journeyed across the sky, met friends of mist and dreams, faced the shadows of doubt, and found her light was made of love. She was ready for dawn. The night was almost over. The river of dreams shimmered like silk below, carrying its final waves of sleep through the world. Every dream the little star had guarded, every whispered wish, every soft breath of hope, was flowing gently toward the horizon where light waited to be born. The dream weaver floated beside her, wings of silver slowly folding. "You've done well, little one," it murmured. "The sky remembers your light." The little star glowed softly. "It feels different now," she whispered. "The dark doesn't frighten me. It feels peaceful, like part of a song." The weaver smiled. "It always was. You simply hadn't learned the melody yet." They drifted in silence. Around them the heavens were breathing, the great, slow rhythm of night turning toward morning. Every creature that slept was exhaling its final dream, and the world itself seemed to sigh. The promise of light far below, dawn began to stir. A pale silver line traced the edge of the world. The first touch of sun had not yet come, but its warmth could be felt in the air like a thought not yet spoken. The little star wa. The little star watched it, heart swelling with wonder. So this is the morning, she said. The weaver nodded. Every night ends here. Every dream returns to light. But what happens to us? Asked the star softly. When the sun rises, do we vanish? The weaver's eyes gleamed with kindness. We rest in the heart of the day. Our glow becomes part of sunlight, hidden but alive. Yet some stars, those who have found the deepest peace, are chosen to stay. They become the heralds of dawn, guiding both night and day. The little star tilted her golden face upward. The morning star, the weaver inclined its head. Yes, but that gift is not given. It is earned through love. The last dream before the weaver could say more, the river below shimmered brighter, and a single dream rose from its surface like a bubble of light. It drifted upward toward them, glowing faintly. "What is it?" asked the star. "A farewell," said the weaver, "the final dream of the night." The dream opened before her like mist unfolding. Inside it, she saw a small girl sitting by a window. Her eyes were sleepy, her chin resting on her hands. She whispered, "Good night, little star, you're my favorite one." And then she fell asleep. Tears of light welled in the little star's glow. "She remembers me." "She always will," said the weaver. "Every heart that you touched carries a spark of your light. That is how love outlives the night." The journey to the edge, the horizon glimmered brighter now, violet melting into pink, then rose gold. The other stars were already fading, retreating to their daytime rest. "Go on," whispered the weaver. "The world is waiting for you." The little star hesitated. "Will I see you again?" The weaver smiled, wings shining with 1,000 soft reflections. "You will feel me whenever you comfort the world. I am in the hush that follows a lullaby, in the stillness between heartbeats. That is where dreams live." The star drifted closer and brushed her light against the weaver's wing. "Thank you for teaching me how to shine." "Thank you," said the weaver, "for teaching me how to hope." Then the mist-winged guardian turned and faded into the silver glow of vanishing night. Becoming alone now, the little star faced the horizon. The line of dawn was brighter, so bright it almost hurt, yet it called to her like a heartbeat. She could feel herself changing. Her glow deepened from gold to white, then to the color of morning dew. Around her the last shadows trembled and fell away. A warmth filled her center, not fire, but love so vast it had no edge. It was the memory of every dream she had guarded, every heart she had soothed. They all pulsed within her light, singing softly, forming a chorus only she could hear. She closed her eyes. "If this is the end," she thought, "let it be beautiful." And with that thought she released everything, fear, longing, even her name. Her glow expanded, rising through the breath of dawn until it met the first sunlight of day. The sky flared rose and gold. The river of dreams dissolved into air. Where the little star had been, a single brilliant spark remained, steady, calm, alive. The sun touched it and the heavens whispered, "Morning star." The light that stays now, she shines not only for sleepers, but for those who wake. When eyes look to the east and see that first bright light before sunrise, they see her. A promise that night always leads to day, that darkness never wins, that gentle hearts endure. Sometimes a child looks up and smiles without knowing why. Sometimes a tired soul feels peace just before dawn. It is her light they feel, quiet, constant, loving. The dream weaver's voice drifts through the breeze of dawn. "Rest easy, little one. The world dreams because of you." And she answers, though no one hears, "I am still here. I will always be here." Epilogue: the morning star's song. There are stars that blaze like fire and stars that whisper like breath. There are those born to guide ships, and those meant only to comfort hearts. But the morning star is both, a bridge between dreaming and waking, a soft voice reminding the world to begin gently. Each dawn she hums her song, a lullaby reversed, not to send the world to sleep but to wake it kindly. Dreams do not end, she sings. They change shape with the light. Below, the world glows anew. Birds rise, rivers gleam, faces lift toward day. And though the sun brightens the sky until no star remains visible, her essence lingers in every ray, in every calm breath before the day begins. Closing whisper so if you ever wake before sunrise, and see that single bright light resting on the horizon, know that you are being watched over by the little star who learned to love the dark and became the morning star who guards the light. She shines for your peace, for your quiet dreams, for your gentle heart that seeks rest. And as her glow fades into the dawn, a soft voice drifts across the sky, the horizon blushed with the tender hues of a new morning. The world below began to stir, rivers glimmering like threads of glass, mountains yawning in shadows, and flowers unfolding in silence. And there in the highest corner of the waking sky, the morning star shone, gentle, patient, and radiant. Her light was not fierce like the sun's, nor cold like the night's. It was something in between, a promise that peace could exist in both. She floated quietly, watching the light stretch across the land. It touched sleeping villages, wandered into the windows of lonely hearts, and painted silver halos on the edges of clouds. The little star, now morning star, could feel it all. Every sigh of comfort, every breath of calm, every quiet smile seemed to ripple back to her in waves of gratitude. It was as though the earth itself was whispering, "Thank you for keeping us safe through the night." The gift of stillness, but even in this peace, a question lingered in her heart. "Do I belong to night or day?" she whispered softly. The wind answered in gentle sighs that carried no words, only the rhythm of the world waking. She drifted through the dawn air, passing over oceans that mirrored her glow. In their rippling blue, she saw herself reflected not as she was, but as she had become. Her edges shimmered with the color of pearl and memory. She could still feel the hum of the river of dreams far below, that ancient flow of sleeping thoughts that now rested beneath the daylight. Its silence was not loss. It was rest. And for the first time she understood. Even dreams needed to sleep. The realization filled her with stillness, a peace so deep it quieted every echo inside her. The voice of the earth below her, morning mist rose from forests and fields. Birds began to sing. Their songs rose upward, weaving together like prayers. And for a brief moment the morning star could hear them clearly, each note a tiny wish. A sparrow's song said, "Let this day be kind." A dove's song whispered, "Let there be peace." And from far away a child's sleepy voice murmured, "Thank you, little star. You stayed with me." Her light trembled not with sadness but joy. For the first time she realized her glow had crossed boundaries, not just between night and day, but between dreaming and waking, between heaven and heart. The return of the dream weaver, a shimmer appeared in the golden air beside her. Wings of silver mist unfolded once more. It was the dream weaver, radiant now in daylight hues. "You still guide them," said the weaver softly, "even after night has ended." The morning star turned toward the familiar glow. "I thought my work was finished when the dark faded." The weaver smiled, its eyes filled with dawn. "Dreams don't end when eyes open. They simply change their shape." The star listened quietly. The weaver's voice was soft as sunlight on water. "Now," it said, "you light the waking hearts, those who still carry their dreams into the day, those who need a reminder that peace can follow them." The morning star looked down again. She saw a woman by her window, staring at the morning sky, her face tired but her eyes soft. The woman closed her eyes, breathed deeply, and smiled, without knowing why. The weaver nodded toward her. You did that. The promise renewed. The morning star shone quietly. Then I will stay, she said, for them, for all who still dream. The weaver's wings glowed brighter. Then you are what the sky needed most, not the brightest star, but the kindest. The star bowed her light. I once feared fading, she whispered. Now I see that even fading is another kind of shining. The weaver reached out a hand of silver mist and touched the center of her light. Then shine, my little morning star, it said. Shine for the hearts between sleeping and waking. Shine for the weary and the gentle. Shine for love. And then the dream weaver dissolved into the glow of day, not gone, but resting in the warmth of the world. The language of light alone again, the morning star rose higher, and with every breath her glow grew softer, melting into the soft blues of early morning. But though her body faded, her presence remained, a warmth behind every sigh of wind, a glimmer caught in every drop of dew. The light she left behind spoke its own quiet language, not of words but of feeling. It told every living thing, you are safe, you are seen, you are loved. The rivers carried it. The trees held it in their leaves. Even the sun seemed to borrow a little of her glow as it climbed higher into the sky. Her work was complete, but her love, that stayed forever. The world was awake, yet the air still shimmered with fragments of sleep. Morning dew clung to leaves like tiny memories of dreams, and the wind moved slowly, as if reluctant to leave the night behind. High above, the morning star lingered. Her light was faint now, almost invisible in the growing gold of the sun, but her heart glowed with something stronger than brightness. Love. The whispers beneath the light, she drifted quietly above mountains and cities, listening not with ears but with her light. And in that quiet listening she began to hear them, the soft echoes of dreams still clinging to human hearts. A child whispering to a lost parent, a sailor watching dawn from a lonely deck, an old woman planting seeds in her small garden. Each one carried a quiet wish. They weren't grand wishes. They were small, trembling things, hope for peace, forgiveness, belonging. The morning star's light trembled as she absorbed them all. She wanted to reach down, to touch each heart gently, to whisper, "You are not alone." So she did what only a star could do. She glowed softer, warmer, and her light spilled across the world like breath. Everywhere it touched, dreams began to soften into peace. The woman by the window, the woman who once looked up at her, returned that morning. She had not slept much, her eyes were tired, her heart heavier than before. But when she saw that faint glimmer still lingering beside the sun, something inside her loosened. She pressed her hand to the glass and whispered, "You waited." And though no voice came back, she felt warmth on her fingertips, a small, steady glow that said, "Yes." For a moment she closed her eyes. Her pain didn't vanish, but it softened, like a wound finally ready to heal. She smiled, just a little, and the morning star smiled back unseen. The lost dreamer far away, a young man wandered a quiet field at dawn, his mind heavy with thoughts that never rested. He had forgotten how to dream, forgotten what peace felt like. But as he looked up, he saw her, a single star refusing to disappear. Something in her gentle persistence touched him. "If she can stay," he murmured, "then maybe I can too." He breathed in the cool air, and for the first time in years his chest didn't ache. The morning star's heart swelled, not because she had changed him, but because she had reminded him that peace was still possible. The dream weaver's echo as she watched over the waking world. A faint shimmer of silver rippled through the light, the echo of the dream weaver's voice. "You see now," it whispered from beyond the clouds. "Your light was never meant to end with night. It was meant to begin with morning." The morning star listened, and for the first time she didn't feel small. She didn't feel like a leftover dream. She felt like a bridge between what was forgotten and what could still be found. And in that understanding, her light grew deeper, not brighter, but truer. The symphony of dawn the world below came alive like music. Waves rolled in rhythm, leaves danced softly, and even the clouds moved with gentle grace. It was as if the earth itself had begun to sing, a lullaby turned upside down, a song not for sleeping, but for waking gently into life. The morning star could hear it all, a thousand small heartbeats blending into one great hum. It was love, it was loss, it was everything that made being alive both heavy and holy. And she realized this was her true purpose, to remind the world that even in daylight they were still held by the quiet tenderness of dreams. The last shadow as the sun climbed higher, her light began to fade. She looked down one last time at the world she had loved all night and morning. A whisper escaped her heart. If you ever forget the way to peace, look for me in the spaces between sunlight and memory. And though the morning wind carried her voice away, it lingered in the hush between two waves, in the sigh before a smile, in the warmth that follows a tear. The promise of return, she felt herself melting into the blue of the day, not vanishing, but becoming part of it. For every morning that would follow, she would return faint but faithful, shining just before sunrise, to remind the world that love never sleeps. And somewhere far away, in a small house by the river, a child stirred in their bed, looked out the window, and whispered softly, "Good night, morning star." The words were wrong in time but perfect in spirit, because the morning star understood that love is both beginning and ending at once. Night crept softly back across the world. The sun slipped beneath the horizon like a tired traveler, and the sky exhaled a breath of silver. For a moment the heavens were empty. Then, one by one, the stars awoke. At the very edge of twilight, where day and night still held hands, a single spark shimmered into being. It was her, the little star, reborn from morning into evening, her heart calm as a held breath. The circle of light, she had seen darkness. She had seen dawn. Now she understood both were threads in the same eternal weave. The world below rested again, children curling into dreams, oceans whispering their slow rhythm, trees rocking softly in the wind. Her light touched them all, not with brilliance, but with gentleness, the way a mother tucks a blanket around a sleeping child. The memory of morning, though night surrounded her once more, she carried the warmth of day inside. She remembered the woman at her window, the boy in the field, the laughter of rivers. She carried their hope like fire in her chest. "I am the memory of light," she whispered. "Even when you cannot see me, I am still shining for you." The dream weaver's echo floated on the wind. "So long as a single heart believes in calm, you will rise again." The lullaby of the sky stars began to hum. It wasn't sound, it was feeling, a vibration so soft it could cradle the world. She joined their song, her voice a blend of moonlight and breath. "Sleep, little world under quiet skies, your worries will drift, your sorrows will rise. Tomorrow will come, gentle and true, the light you have lost still lives in you." The song rippled across oceans, over mountains, through cities. Every soul that heard it felt their heartbeats slow, their breath steady, their dreams open like petals at dusk. The dream keeper, as she sang, she saw new dreams forming below, fresh, tender, uncertain. She watched them unfold like tiny boats on a calm sea. Each one carried a piece of someone's heart, a wish for love, a memory of kindness, a prayer for peace. And she realized that these dreams were her new sky. The quiet forever the night deepened but no longer felt empty. It was full of whispers, full of beginnings. The little star, now eternal, now both morning and evening, floated in stillness and smiled. She no longer asked where she belonged, for she had become belonging itself, a promise that every ending is only the start of a softer dawn. Final whisper the earth breathed, the stars listened, and the morning star, the little light who had once feared fading, spoke her final lullaby. If ever your heart grows heavy, look to the edge of the sky. There I wait between night and day to remind you that peace still remembers your name. Her glow trembled once more, not fading but folding into forever. And in that holy silence, the world fell gently to sleep. Good night from Pillow Talk Dreams.